So we've all probably heard that the tangerine toddlers, oh, big fancy inauguration is going to be indoors. So either he knows his in crowds, presidential inauguration crowds in general, his first inauguration, teeny little tiny crowds compared to a lot of presidents who have that entire walkway way the hell back there, all covered with little black dots, just swarms of people and coats and heads and I'm not sure if it's because it's going to be pretty blustery, pretty cold tomorrow in Washington, D.C., or if it's because he doesn't want his little teeny tiny crowds to be as obvious. But they've moved it indoors, as you've probably heard. And I'm laughing my ass off because, I think when Obama, his inauguration, it had snow all over the ground. It was blustery. It was windy. I remember it. And I think it was like 28 degrees. Okay. In John F. Kennedy's inauguration, it wasn't as blustery. I mean, it was 33 degrees. And he didn't wear it, and Kennedy didn't even wear an overcoat. So, all I have to say is, you got Republicans who, quite a few of them probably are still unvaccinated if they didn't have to do it for their job or if they, have their own business or something like that. A lot of them still are not vaccinated, let alone booster. They're not even vaccinated. So you got all these people that are prone to probably having a high propensity to not be vaccinated inside a closed up area, all breathing, and there's no outside air or that going out. What's in there because it's cold outside, so that is going to be a super spread. I will not be surprised if a lot of people that were present there wind up with COVID or norovirus or anything else. And it's just ridiculous. Y'all know it's not as bad as it was in 19 and 20, 21, but it's still out there. Plus, like I said, norovirus is really spiking in America. And that's just, an intestinal thing, but man, it's coming up both. It sucks. So, you got a lot of people going to be in there, packed in there. And, that really sucks because people made plans. I mean, I don't care personally, but I'm just saying this is how discourteous he is to his own people. People got these tickets. They probably busted their butts, a lot of them, to get a ticket from their Congress people. Okay? Not everybody lives, I mean, even I live close by, but it's a 4-hour trip. So it's not like I would have to, anybody up here wouldn't have to, have a hotel per se, unless it's a snowstorm or whatever. But you still have 4 hours of driving. You still have expenses. You still have, things. And to be planning it to go, and then suddenly a bunch of you can't go because everybody that has to isn't going to be able to get into an indoor thing. So I'm assuming he's hoping by moving it indoors, he won't show what a big baby he is when his diaper freezes after he pees in it at the podium. And he has a very good reason why his crowd is limited. Because of indoors, of course they couldn't come in, all of them. Really? Really? Sing me. Oh, wait. I'm sure that's what he's going to say. And here it is. Oh, my precious. Oh, Donald. Oh, little almost president rapist. Oh, yes. I played my little violin for you. I honestly think it's a combination. That's my own gut. It's a combination of him not wanting to be cold and inconvenienced, because God forbid the leader of a country has a little inconvenience for his people. God forbid he suffer a little inconvenience, a little coldness to talk to his adoring fans. I mean, seriously, he doesn't give an F about you all. And the fact that you even think he does at this point, wow, really. Just to let you know, the longer you take, because it's already taken some of you 8 years. Some of you are new Trump bandwagon people. But the longer it takes you to admit that you are wrong, he is a cult, he is an ass, he is a rapist, he is a felon, he is a scam, and he conned you for years. The longer, a lot of you, I think, just don't want to admit it at this point. You see it, you're getting mad, but you just can't say the words fuck MAGA and leave them. Now, if you're of color or in the LGBTQ plus community, which, believe it or not, there are some that are MAGA Republicans that are. They've probably already given you the hint that we got your vote, we don't want you anymore. I've seen several Latino and black folks be crying. A lot of them are men, be crying that their MAGA family don't want them anymore. Well, guess what? The people you've betrayed all this time and got that asshole in here into power tomorrow, we don't want to hear your whining either. Because we've spent years telling you this. And you didn't want to listen. You don't do your research until after the fact, but yet you keep insisting that Democrats have been lying to you all these years. And then when you find out what we were telling you his plans are, you suddenly find out after the election, because you didn't investigate and research on your own, you realize we were correct. But see, now you can't admit it. But let me tell you something. The longer it takes you and the longer you drag your feet and stall and admit that you were fleeced, that you were conned, and that what I said it is exactly what it is, a grifting lie. The longer it takes you to do that, the more embarrassing it's going to be. Don't you understand that? So you better really start thinking. All of you who are showing some regrets, and you see that Democrats were not lying to you, Project 2025 is indeed his goal. Maybe you should start supporting the people that you can see were not lying to you, instead of trying to avoid embarrassing yourself by saying you were scammed for so long. Do you see how that's working against even your own interests in the long run, now that you see what they're all about? Vance, where did he's disappeared? Have you seen any other vice president that disappeared from view a month before the election and still has disappeared pretty much? Doesn't that ring some sort of Hey, that's odd. Alarm bell is in your head. I mean, it should. If you have adequate, typical, critical thinking skills, then it should. If it hasn't come to your thoughts, then maybe you might want to get an education, because you slept through too many classes apparently, or ditched them. But I mean, I'm honestly sitting here and telling you this. I don't care what you say in public. If you're, and I'm sorry if this is insulting, but if you, in your heart, even if you can't do it publicly, in your heart can say, this isn't, that's not what I'm voting for, and even admit it to yourself that Elon was not part of this. Okay? If you can't admit that even in your private little moments you have questioned it, if you haven't questioned him once, I'm trying to think of a gentle way, a tactful way to say that if you honestly have had no concerns and that you're absolutely sure he is everything you think he is, he's Superman, then you either, and I'm not being a jerk, then you either have a low IQ or have some emotional, mental processing issues that you might want to get some help for or look into. And I'm saying that genuinely because it doesn't make sense. When somebody has to search for something to make sense, that should be a big red flag and a clanging bell. And if those kind of things aren't, I've talked in another subject, another video, about some of the crap he's already started, and he's not even in until tomorrow. Yeah, you might really want to start evaluating yourself if you still honestly believe this person. Musk got on scene and Vance disappeared. Doesn't any of this make any queries to yourself? Anyway, peace out on this snowy afternoon.